members of?
Pcs for Refugees is a nonprofit organization in the state of Arizona that aims to provide every refugee with a recycled computer. We start by recycling unused or broken or old computer equipment and refurbish them and provide them to our refugee communities to help empower them. We're on a mission to provide every refugee family with a computer, the internet access, and the tools needed to help them thrive in today's digital age. Now let's face it, refugees today face more difficulties than ever before. It's never easy being a refugee in the first place. Being forced to leave your land and come to a new country and establish a new life in a different culture and a foreign language can be a very anxiety-filled journey. Unfortunately, many of these refugees already come in feeling unwelcomed as it is, and with the recent executive order, the recent administration policy regarding refugees can be very hampering to their success. Many of them are extremely frightened and unsure if they'll be sent back home or if they'll ever see their family members again. But I think the refugee community and population as a whole is a very vulnerable population as it is, and it's really, more important than ever to really show that we do support them and we do want them to succeed. To show these refugees that we truly care for them and want them to succeed can mean everything to them right now. And being a Syrian American myself that's had all of my family displaced in Syria at the time, I've lost several loved ones, including my 16-year-old cousin and my grandmother who suffered 3 strokes in the city of Homs and was unable to leave the city to receive proper medical attention. But believe it or not, the most difficult part of it all really was just that feeling of helplessness, realistically knowing there's nothing I could do to help my family or these people in need who desperately need the help the most. So we started to hear about refugees, Syrian refugees who started trickling into the valley about 9-10 months ago. And I thought this was like the perfect opportunity for me to get to know them, visit these families, and really offer my help. So when we visited these families, what we found were dentists, the veterinarians, teachers, designers, graphic designers, and so much more. Professional, hardworking, and motivated people who were really willing to get their new life started in their new country. Unfortunately, we noticed one big problem, and that was that 100% of these families had absolutely no access to a computer. And we immediately noticed this was a major limitation. And if you guys think about, how important a computer has become in our everyday life, from conducting job searches, searching or applying for scholarships, even elementary school homework nowadays requires a login online that you need to submit your homework online. From communicating to family members across the world, accessing other resources that may be available to you, and so much more. We truly believe that by providing these families who otherwise would not be able to afford a working computer would really allow them to more effectively and efficiently integrate into their new communities by helping them increase on their English skills a little bit, hopefully teach them some job creation skills, how to make a resume, how to search or apply for a job online, and hopefully also to provide them a bridge to digital skill development in the future, like programming or web development, video design, that might even benefit them long term. This was the very first computer that we had dropped off. This was really before there was a Pcs for Refugees. The mother sent me this photo a couple days later. The note in Arabic on the right says, "Shukran Am Riyad," which means "Thank you, Mr. Riyad." And I thought this was, I'm not gonna lie, I cried a little bit when I saw this photo. Jude on the right has muscular dystrophy, so she suffers from severe muscle weakness and is oftentimes stuck to a chair, her bed, or couch for long periods of time and unable to leave the house and ride her bike with her younger brother. So for Jude, this computer was really her lifeline into the world, and it meant a lot for her and her family to have that lifeline. And this kind of made me realize how important a computer is for these families, for people like Jude, a lot of these refugees that are coming and have health problems, from amputees to double amputees to blindness. So a computer could really be a very valuable tool to help them integrate more efficiently with their new computers and also provide some additional education supplementation. Within the past 10 months alone, we've been able to provide 97 families and counting a working computer. That translates to about 597 individuals that now have easy access to a computer in their own home who did not have access to a computer beforehand. 100% of these families have internet access. Majority of them have been set up through us. 6 of these families have received jobs directly because of their computers. We have a photographer, a laser cutter, an English teacher that was an English teacher back in Syria, and many others that have found a job literally directly related to their computer. A lot of these computers come pre-programmed and filled with a ton of educational games and software, anything from teaching the alphabet to teaching you how to program in 3 different computer languages to advanced image manipulation software similar to Photoshop, AutoCAD software for architects, and so much more. Each of these computers already come pre-packaged with all of these programs. We also have 12 children who have begun programming at a young age, which we have very high hopes for.
So currently we're working with IRC, which is International Rescue Committee. They're a resettlement agency not only in Arizona, but nationwide. We work with AZSCN, which is a Syrian community network, finding new Syrian refugees that may be in the valley. We're currently in partnership with AMWA, which is American Muslim Women's Association. They're going to be providing Skype lessons in English for refugees, whether they have English questions or they need help with certain paperwork. AZ Strut is a local computer refurbisher. Their whole purpose is to take computers from businesses mostly and give them a little TLC and distribute them out to nonprofits, mostly for admin use. And Chandler United Methodist Church, which are conducting computer drives. So this is more of the numbers. From July to January, we've seen a steady increase in delivery of computers. However, in November, we had received seed money, and we've nearly doubled the amount of computers we've been able to distribute out in the community. This graph here is kind of how we spend our money. We spend about $1,600 currently. 16% of that is in refurbishing hardware, batteries, all that stuff. 24% is helping with internet access. Cox has a wonderful program for low-income families. If their children are enrolled in school, they can get that cheap internet. And then 60% is the 501c3 status. When we had applied to you guys, we were an Arizona nonprofit, but we realized that we need to take this nationwide. So we need the 501c3 status, C3. So currently we're looking to expand to different demographics. Right now we have inroads in the Syrian community. However, that is not the only community here that needs our help. We've seen a huge influx of Somali, Burmese from Myanmar, and Afghan refugees, and we're hoping to find contacts in those communities to whether translation work or just distribution in general. We're planning on starting an ASU Pcs for Refugees Club to find new talent on campus and sustain our model because, we can't do it all on ourselves. So we're hoping to employ young, bright minds here on ASU. Online resource platform is a platform for what we take advantage of what we know how to do, like apply for driver's license, apply for jobs in the States. Simple stuff. Refugees have a more difficult time, so that will help them through online videos to get that way. Look into grant writers. It's again with our sustainability model. So with grant writers, we're looking into sustain, and then we have a very committable goal of 250 plus families in the valley by 2018. So we're thinking we can do this. We know we can do this. So from our team to yours, we want to thank you and we really appreciate your time.